Hi, today we're talking about this book from Damon Dominique. You are a global citizen. And let me start by telling that this is not a book, this is more like a journal. And I have written already the whole book. But some of the questions I even wanted to leave it and try to answer them like here together. So to start, if you were here already in my last videos or episodes, I have talked already about this book like very often because at the beginning I was like reflecting about my country, from where I come, the language that I speak, and I have talked already about this in my last episodes, but now I finally finished the book and I really want to more talk about peace and love, which are very universal topics and have everything to do with culture and language as well, but I don't really want to cover just being an immigrant or traveling or just language or just culture. I, for some reason, ended this book wanting to talk about peace and love. Let's start. You know, when a book is giving you ideas, when I have like post-its inside my book, one of them tells a podcast about taboos. I've made one. And then there's another one about peace, and I want to make you this question. So let's jump right into page 61. Remember a time you were at peace. When I was writing my answer here, you can see it. I was telling like I actually feel very at peace when I'm traveling. Like this feeling that the time will change and the food would change, people would change, the language would change, and I probably have like hours offline on an airplane, just seeing everything from above, this bird's eye view, disconnecting myself of my routine with who I am. It's so liberating. Like, I find it so peaceful to travel. I know that travel can be stressful, and probably people will see me like also freaking out when I'm traveling, but I am very calm when I travel, and I feel like a sense of peace when I'm traveling, when I am present. I guess traveling makes me also feel like, where am I gonna eat next? Like, where do I sleep today? And this is such a presentification. Like, I feel very present. So I am at peace when I am in this world, basically, and really feeling that I belong to this world and not just sitting in my desk every day of the week. Like, when I am leaving, when I feel like alive and moving. So that was interesting because I've never thought about myself as someone that is like, I don't know, traveling so much. I had both parents that love to travel, and I always felt like much more introverts than they are, and much more like wanting my coziness in my home. If you're probably in my channel here already, and if you know me, I love to be at home, and I have two cats, and I have my simple little life. But I am indeed also an immigrant, and I always have this feeling of wanting to know more, to discover more, and to travel more, and to be part of this world. So I want you to share with me, if you want to, when do you feel at peace? I saw a comment under an episode of Emma Chamberlain telling why you're not talking about what is going on in the world, why you're not talking about Gaza, why you're not talking about war. And I am also like, why there are not so many creators still not talking about it all. And I do feel like, who am I to say anything? Like, I don't know. And I have fears to tell informations that I don't know. And with the whole thing going on, I feel like there is a lack of information of what is going on. There is a Brazilian that went by boat. He tried to reach Gaza and then he got arrested. And this happened like yesterday. So I do feel like we don't know what is going on and people are just getting silenced and arrested. So I feel like, what can I say when I don't even know what is going on? And misinformation leads to exactly what am I doing, not sharing anything, and just feeling like if we don't talk about it, nothing change. So not very long ago, we were at war. Like, I remember, and this is a topic of this book as well, because he's in America, living in Paris, and buying this book was honestly to reflect about my own journey as an immigrant as well. And as a person that wants to be a global citizen, like, I want to learn more languages and I want to feel like there are no boundaries needed anymore. Come on, we're in 2025. This is a globalized world. Why are we doing war and bureaucracy and borders? Why? Like, this was like a personal reflection. And the more personal I was going into these places, like very intimate and very about my own family, about from like my city, from where I come from, more I was realizing that there's nothing personal. Like, even if you think this is too personal, you are just another human being living on the earth, and your experience can be related with anyone else's experience. Like, we are global citizens. So I was honestly reflecting a lot about why am I gonna move my country, and why do I have this urge to move my city first and then wanting to move my country as well. And not just because I found someone and fell in love and wanted to be close to him, but also so many other factors. I remember the first time I was here in Berlin going to my German course. There was like this S-Bahn was not a S-Bahn, it was actually a like this Straßenbahn was not going. Like this tram stopped and I even got late because they were putting a bomb out of Alexanderplatz. Like it was really in a very common place, like full of people. And I was literally going there like every day. And one day I got a little late because they were like extracting a bomb from war times. Like when I saw that this was real, I guess was probably this first moment, because when you just watch or when you study in school or when you just see social media or you just like read the news and there's a war going on, there was never hitting me as this moment. Like I was just living my normal life and I was like, this city was already full of bombs. Like what's like what's I don't know. There is a feeling that I cannot express of really realizing how cruel and weird and deadly the word can be, and not the word like human can be. And I was like, this is an experience that I would never realize if I'm not like traveling. I was not living here, I was just like studying here. So studying abroad, taking a trip, knowing different people from different places makes you realize and engage in the word. Otherwise, you're just in your little bubble. Next question. Would you be friends with yourself if you met yourself? Actually, I did answer this. I answered with a yes, but I guess I wanted them to give me a time to answer this again, because I've always felt that I would not want to be friends with myself. You know, like when you see people on social media or you meet someone and this person is so you, like it's so similar, that this even triggers so much because it is actually so you. So you are so reflected in so many things. So I don't think I would be friends with myself, because I would be so triggered with myself. I would be like, she's doing everything that I want to do. Like, I don't know. But in another hand, I'm awesome as well. And I am me. So if I would find someone that can also like stuff that I like why not? But that's a very tricky question. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but I feel like complex. So I guess depends. I don't know. I really don't know. And that's why I was especially bringing this question for you guys. You can also leave me in the comments. What do you think? Would you be your friend? Would you be fine with having a strictly virtual friend? Yes, I do have friends that I have never met before. Probably we did like a phone call already, or we shared even like audios, or we saw even each other, but I don't really met them. And the fact that I'm right now like married with a German that I met online, and we were like 5 years long distance relationship and 1 year no meeting, I do think like I am capable of making connections, like real ones, online. And I know how critical everyone can be about it. I know how much I will not even say my therapist, like the psychology in general of it all is like, you are afraid of making real connections, or I don't know. I do think it is generational. I do think that this is not happening with everyone, and it happens with special people. It's not like I'm friends with jeder auf der Straße oder friends with anyone. Just happen to be there and I match with them. Like they are not just my boyfriend, which now is my husband, but like I have friends that I study with them, or that they kind of do the same thing that I do. And although they are very far away, we connected. And this connection is a real one. we don't really need to make anything together, but I will be even open to make something with this person. So I guess the answer is yes, but I also am not like forever. For example, if this person wants to meet, I would also want to meet and I would also want to be together with this person. If we matched online, I do think that we would be like real friends in the real life. But I don't want to separate anymore what is real and what is virtual. I guess for me and for my generation and for every reflection that I've made already about what is real, I'm not like I'm not making a huge deal about virtual friends anymore, social media anymore. I do think like there are plenty of people that are living here where I live and they are not me at all. And there are people that are still far away and the only way to connect with them is with social media or online. And so yeah. Second question. Do you have any current friends that you speak online more than in person? And I guess the answer is not only a yes, but I am worried about myself. Ich muss zugeben, I just have friends that I talk more online than in real life. I also work for acting for a camera. I work on my computer. My therapist is from Brazil, so we do like online sessions. My family I see nowadays and in the last 3 years more online than in real life. There are a lot of people and not just friends that I see more online. And this is just how it is, part of my reality. I don't know if this means that I'm more global or less, but I do think like if you want to be a global citizen, if you want to be traveling the world or living somewhere else, this is the way to go. Like this is what comes with living abroad, what comes with maybe being nomad, maybe being traveling all the time. Like you literally cannot be in everywhere at once. So being online and being okay with it is part of the deal. There are so many nice questions, and he does have like sections, for example, money and career, love and peace and culture and your own city. So there are many questions and sections, but I want to end with this one here. How much of your life has been influenced by the internet? Your job, your friends, your love life, your entertainment? How might this be different had the internet never existed? I don't know, but I got so bummed out. Like, it all feels very unimportant. All what I'm doing in the internet sometimes feels like, you know what? I can't stop doing this. I can delete it all and I can just act like nothing happened. Like, every time I kind of freak out because I'm exposing myself so much or anything, I feel like I can just delete it and no one will really remember like I am not so important. And when I was realizing how much I got like bumped out about this question, I realized as well that I was someone that was born with the beginning of the internet. Like I was born in 2000 in Brazil. So I was someone that already used like DVDs, MP3's player. Like I had one and I also were like having video cassette. I had so much stuff that are like even vintage. Like my child life was actually without this all, but I also grow into it. And my job is based a lot on the internet. And by telling internet, I'm not telling like social media, I'm telling the internet, like Google, like learning a language on YouTube, like having information about how can I go to Germany because there's a website telling me what to do. So I have met friends, my husband, I have students and followers and friends. Like the internet is just basically not anymore something else. It's part of my life. So it seems so ridiculous to be telling this, but at the same time, I feel very grateful that we were born in this time of history because I really don't want to be someone else that would be born like before me or even after me. I guess the future generations, who knows what will happen. And my grandpa's, I am this generation. And the same way that this book made me realize I am my culture. It doesn't matter what I do, like I am my culture. And the same I feel like with my place that I'm living right now, with my languages that I speak, with the work that I do, because I'm a woman or because I am 25 years old living in this world. So we are not what we want to be. We are also not so important. We are just made by whatever was going on. around me and as we grow. There was a moment that he was also talking about food and drinks and how many questions I get from living abroad. Everyone is always so interested to know, like, what is the food like in Germany? Oh my God, you're so struggling. I imagine you would be eating nothing at all because I'm even like vegan. I don't like spicy. I don't like many things. And at the same time, I am also like, I eat everything. I don't have like allergies. I can eat everything. From the country that I come, we have so many fruits, we have so many vegetables. Like there are just so much in Brazil. And the way we cook is like we do have like three, four, five dishes minimum for each meal. And I am like, this is not the same here in Germany. Like they eat bread and that's it. And they not even eat like a breakfast sometimes, like at all. So I do feel like realizing these processes is so intimate. I don't want to share them here because they are just so personal. In the same time that they are not personal, like everyone is clearly already thinking about this. They are knowing that the food is gonna be different, and every person would have a relationship with food. There is also related from where they came from. Like there was a question like, you're hosting a dinner of people from your culture. What are some unspoken rules or general manners everyone would naturally respect? And this was interesting also to talk with my husband because we were like, in Brazil, we don't really have like rules and manners because I always felt like Germans have so much more rules and you have to wait and start eating like everyone together. Like you cannot start eating before, and then they also have their rules. And then in Brazil, we don't have any rules. And then I realized like if I'm hosting something for my family, like for a huge amount of people, we probably even would also wait to eat and we would even pray before. Like we have a lot of rules as well. And it was so interesting just to put this in a paper. Like don't just saying something and then leave it to be, but just also write about it and discuss this with my partner, which will get it because he's also with me in a relationship. So is totally a recommendation if you are not just an immigrant, but maybe if you are married with an immigrant or you are in a relationship with one or you want to be, because it's not for everybody to accept these rules and a different food, and we come with our culture. So yeah. So this leads me to the end of this short review, which is love and relationship. Love is global. There will be another rule, there will be another ritual to make, or maybe you need to dress differently or eat something in another way. But the essence is there in every culture, in every human being. Exists love, exists hunger, exists the basic stuff that you grow into this abstract stuff or feeling or sensation, and then you build whatever you want to build around us. Like if I feel hungry, so what do I do with this hunger? Which food I have here in my location? So which recipes my grandma used to make, as well as love, and what is love for you, for this other culture? What are the steps? What are like what is allowed to do, what is not allowed? But in general, everyone feel this and everyone can reshape or change their own way in how they relate with hunger or love or any other sensation, like a warm country or a cold country, how they deal with temperature as well. So I don't know if I got too far here, but you got me. And I'm gonna finish with love and relationship. Question number one. Is someone who is always traveling a turn on or a turn off? A turn off. If someone is always traveling, this person is not here for me. And this is my personal experience because I had a parent that was never there because he was always traveling and working, but then traveling for work. And I feel very abandoned when people travel. Like, I love traveling, and if they would bring me with them, awesome. But traveling usually make me feel like very alone and abandoned. So there's a turn off. Do you believe in soulmates? I don't know the answer for this question, and that's why I wanted to answer this here in a collective public space. And I guess I don't. I have a relationship that I have no explanation because we do connect like in a weird way. I don't know why. Like I was not searching for a partner, and I didn't even know that he was a he, or that he was like my age, or he was also not searching. It just happened. And I do feel like this dimension of randomness is magical sometimes. Like we are just in a rock floating in space. So that itself is unbelievable. Like I have no words for love. When I feel love, when I fall in love with my cat, when I see something makes me emotional, I have no words for this. And I believe that this randomness or God or destiny is just beautiful. But I don't believe in soulmates. I guess he doesn't believe it in soulmates as well. So we are indeed soulmates. I don't know, because we just found each other and stay open and talk a lot, and we were wanting to be with each other. And we clicked and we matched, and we were also very young, and we learn and we grow together, and now we are in a relationship. And you never know like what will happen. I also never know what I will want and what I would do. So I don't really believe in destiny. What I am now at 25 years old is nothing that I had expected for me like 5 years ago, 5 years ago, or I don't know, 10 years ago. My own destiny is like surprising myself a lot, and there are good parts and there are bad parts, and one of them is my husband. Like, he's a huge part of my life, of course, but I don't think we're soulmates. Let's finish with a polemic question. What are your views on monogamy? Serial monogamy? Mahogany? I feel like I'm telling this wrong. Monogamia. Monogamy? Monogamy? Oh my god. Or having like multiple couples and partners. You know what I'm saying. I am someone that is, since our first day, talking about like, what is this? What is this? What's going on here? So since the first day we had like this type of conversation, I always told my partner like, if you whatever, like for whatever reason, if you someday feel like you are attracted to someone, just let me know. Like, and then we try to figure it out what happens then, but let me know. Like, and then I feel like I have attractions for other people that I don't tell him. And then I feel like those attractions, they are not even worth to tell, because I would not do anything about them, or they are like platonic, or they like they were like 2 days or 2 hours or 2 minutes. This reminds me this graphic here that I've made, where I am like some percent gay and the rest I am a different kind of gay. There was also a drawing, like a self-portrait I did about myself. Yeah. But I'm not running from the question. I remember. And I don't believe in polyamor. I do believe that we are capable of loving people, and loving is a work and takes so much energy. And it's difficult enough to love ourselves. Imagine loving like another person and loving more than one person. Like, I really am not in the position. I have made already a podcast about all about love from bell hooks. I am more interested in, let's talk about love. I'm not the person to say I am against monogamy. I'm not the person to say I am having many love and affairs. I am more like, what is love? Like, what is gender? What is love? What is culture? What are like expectations, and what is a long relationship, and what is just in affection, and what is like friendship. So I'm more interested to read books like this one. They make questions, and I was literally doing this like for months. It is a very short book, but I gave me time to do this in my own time and to reflect honestly about all of this question. And I don't believe like there even should be an answer. And I chose these questions to bring you because I wanted to answer them with you, but I still don't have answers. And I guess this book was this, like a lot of questions with no answers, and a lot of questions with answers. So, yeah, you can follow him. You can also learn French with him. I have made his French course as well. I will leave in the description. I love his work, and I would love to meet him someday. And I feel very inspired by him as a creator, because he's doing the work that I lack. Like, in my own life, I don't see so many other creators doing what he's doing, like creating and being on YouTube and talking and writing and learning languages and also being a teacher. So there's so many similarities between me and him, and I see him as a huge reference for me as well. So yeah, that was You Are a Global Citizen. If you have answers for my questions, or if you have more questions, or if you already maybe read this book and you want to also give your insights in the comments, I would love to read them. And if you don't know me, my name is Aline. I'm a Brazilian actress living in Berlin since almost 3 years. I create content, I make YouTube videos. I also love talking and writing, so I ended up having a podcast. And you can see other episodes. You can also listen them on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. My scripts, sometimes you can also read them in my blog. I will leave my website here below. And in my website, you can also check my portfolio as an actress, as someone that loves writing and editing and filming. So if you want to create something together, tag me there as well. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in another video or podcast.